Hello and welcome back to another super quick lesson on wealth management bite size. My name is Sunaina Bisht and I'm a financial advisor with a leading financial institute of the country. Today we're talking about personal accidental insurance. This is part of our insurance series that we've created. We are talking about various essential points about insurance that you should be aware of. A lot of people ask us, how is insurance a financial tool? Well, insurance looks at securing your future financial independence or the future financial independence of your family more precisely by making sure that whatever your liabilities are don't become a burden to your family, and whatever family financial goals that you had decided on still continue irrespective of the fact what happens in life. Now, we've discussed on insurance essentials on life, we've discussed about riders. Today, we're discussing about personal accidental insurance. Now, this policy or this particular tool is available as a rider also on top of your life insurance, or it is also available as a standalone individual accidental insurance policy. As an independent accidental insurance policy, it obviously has a much larger cover, a much larger possible scenarios that it takes care of or caters to, and we will discuss a little bit more about them today. Now, as a result of an accident, the following are the major things that can happen. It could probably lead to death. It could lead to a permanent total disability or a partial disability or a temporary total disability. A permanent total disability would mean loss of limbs, which hampers your lifestyle in such a manner that you're not the same person you previously were. A permanent partial disability would mean a loss of a few body parts, for example, a finger or a ear or a sight from one eye, which hampers you in your lifestyle, but it still allows you enough functionality for you to continue. That's partial disability. A temporary total disability would be like a fracture, a body cast, which makes you immobile for a period of time, but it is only temporary. That means a 6 month of bed rest or a 3 month of bed rest, and post that you're back to being normal. Now, that's what temporary total disability would be. Now, how does personal insurance, accidental insurance, pay out in such situations? Obviously, in accidental death, it will be 100% sum insured, which will also be given in case of two children and above. It is an additional payout which is made, would be part of the terms and conditions. A bonus of 5% per claim year is also added on top of the sum that is insured. So these are the few basic highlights of what happens in case of accidental death. Permanent total disability, we spoke about disabled for life because of loss of limb. The loss of limb could be loss of both hand or feet, or it could be loss of one hand and feet, or it could be complete loss of your sight or your hearing or your speech. In such situations, since the life is still going on, and these kind of permanent disability could lead to loss of income, the insurance amount would pay somewhere 100%, 110% to 125% of the sum insured in case of accidental insurance. Coming to a permanent partial disability, it is the loss of digit, that's a finger of your hand, or hearing from 1 year or the sight from 1 year. In this case, a small percentage of the sum assured is actually paid out weekly for a finite, that is a decided number of weeks. It could be 52 weeks, that is a year, or it could be 104 weeks, that could be 2 years, depending upon that, because such situations, first of all, will require a temporary bed rest. Secondly, might also hamper the kind of income that you are currently generating. So in those situations, till the time you don't get used to this disability in your life and make those required changes going forward, the insurance company will substitute your income generated by the amount it supplements on a weekly basis. Lastly is temporary total disability. It is specific period of weeks and months that a person is completely disabled. Their payout could range anywhere between 50% to 100%. It could be months before you are better. It could have been a head injury as well, instead of just a fracture that has impaired you, or it could be a spine injury. So there's no way of calculating what particular week limit or time limit it needs to have. So the period that the person is disabled, and therefore the kind of loss on salary or loss of income it could have. So 50% to 100% payout in these cases as well. But there would be a maximum cap, since this is not a death case, or this is not a completely permanent disability case. So those were the various disability criteria that kind of get covered in this. Now, another question that we get asked most often is, will it require a health checkup, or what are the things that I need to be careful of? One thing which I would like to highlight, and it's very important, your insurance in accidental cases is something which is covered worldwide and doesn't necessarily have to be within the country. That's one of the most frequently asked questions that we have from our clients in this regard. So it's a worldwide coverage, and it does not require a health checkup. You could be a completely healthy person and still have an accident. That's the reason why it's called an accident. You have a 5% per claim free year maximum to the amount of 50%, which is added on. So that's a great start. And the coverage has a limit to about 50 lakhs in most of the financial policies which are currently there in the market. So it starts from 5 lakh to about 50 lakhs. And accordingly, you can see which would be the coverage that you would want to look at. Now, it doesn't depend upon your age at all. What depends is the kind of lifestyle or the career choices that you have. Now, if you are a sports person or somebody who takes part in a lot of adventure sports, then your coverage or your premium calculation would be much higher compared to somebody who's more of a bookworm, or who does more of a desk job compared to somebody who does a field job. So that's basis the lifestyle choices that the difference will be made. Why this is necessary? Because someone who's already out there involved in conditions which could possibly lead to accidents much higher, that's why a higher premium compared to somebody who's sitting very quietly in a room and just doing their work on a laptop, less likelihood of them having an accident sitting there. That's why a premium calculation for them will be a little lower. Okay, so those were the major highlights I wanted to discuss with all of you today on your personal accidental insurance. Thank you so much for listening to me. We do a lot of videos on mutual funds, insurance, income tax, and other wealth related topics. So make sure that you subscribe to us, look at our other channels, and look at our other video books, video logs that we have created for your benefit. Share it with whoever you care for and whoever you would want to benefit from it. Thank you once again.